Hi, how you doing? Currently getting my hair done, but this video is not like the rest of them, or not like the rest of my videos, I guess. It's definitely more of a sit-down chat, and if you're down to listen, that's fire. If you're not, it's also fire. Yeah, I guess the Japan footage, like that real video, probably will be either 2 videos from now or one more video, or the video after this, depending, because I have a sit-down chat with Janae in another video, but it depends. I don't know, bro. But yeah, I just wanted to give that disclaimer. So bye. So, my talking head this video, like the A camera, I shot in baked in footage, meaning it's like straight out of the camera and I didn't get to color it myself. And the B camera is gonna be colored by me. So there's gonna be a little difference there. Or I might just color it to like the best ability so it like looks kind of the same. So yeah, I'm sorry. This is it was impromptu, so this is like real raw and sorry.
Hello, I'm currently, let me show you guys, sitting on a field in front of the tower of, I don't know. Actually, let me go set up the shot because this camera's gonna die soon. Hey, how you doing? I have a janky setup going on here, but I'm currently in Japan right now. I thank God because I feel like I've been through a lot recently, but at the same time, I've got to get to know God in a new way, and it's definitely encouraged me way more. And it's just, I don't know, I feel freer, feel lighter. I didn't even know if I wanted to do this one because I felt like we may have spoke about it before, but today is doing what I said I was going to do. I think this goes into saying one thing and doing another. It's very easy for us as people to speak about what we want to do or tell people about our plans and stuff like that. But I think, what are actionable steps that we're taking to do what we want to do? You know, let's say you want to get closer to God or you want to get deeper in your word. What actionable steps are you actually taking? Are you seeking Him the first thing you do in the morning, or do you choose to go look to socials, or you look to your phone to just enjoy yourself before you even actually coming to God? Are you looking to Him in the morning to thank Him for even waking you up and granting you the breath that you have that morning? But it's easy to say that, nah, I want to start reading my word more. Do you have a Bible? You know? Or let's talk about the gym. Even me. What steps are you taking to actually go to the gym? Are you allotting time in your schedule so you can't have the ability to say, oh man, I just didn't have time today, or it was too packed today? Are you going to set yourself up to have excuses, or are you going to intentionally make time for the things that you want to do, you know? One thing that hits for me personally is how the Bible talks about how we are a temple of God, right? Like, our lives aren't our own. If we are claiming to say or do things that we essentially intend to better ourselves, but we end up not doing it, it's almost like we're doing ourselves a disservice. But at the same time, it's almost like we're dishonoring God, because our bodies are His, right? And if we want to do better, if we want to feel better, if we want to look better, at the end of the day, it's for Him. But if we don't have that, I guess, that mindset, we're not going to. It's very easy to let yourself down. I won't lie. I personally know how many times I've let myself down. How many times I said I was going to do something and didn't. And if anything, I reap the consequences of it later. And it sucks because there's many times where I feel like I can do so much better, or I had the opportunity to do better for myself and it would have helped me in the long run, but I didn't. And whenever those like feelings or whenever those moments come through, I'm just like, dag, bro, I had a chance to clean up before leaving my crib when I go on a trip so I can come back to a clean home, but I didn't. I had a chance to make my girl feel appreciated by taking her out before leaving, but I didn't. That didn't happen, by the way. I did spend time with my girl before I left. But at the same time, it's like we have to be real with ourselves and have the awareness to not want to continuously let ourselves down. One thing that really hits, and I say it with my friend Deja all the time, is that the Bible says, or Jesus says Himself, that our yes should be a yes and our no should be a no. There's no reason why you should have to say, oh, I swear to God, or on my mom's, or whatever, because let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. I think that goes a long way from just telling people yes or telling people no. I think it goes into what we say we're gonna do as well. That's how people will be able to come to see that you are reliable, and that's what we're supposed to be as Christians. We're a people of our word. Like this, first of all, if God says He's gonna do, that's a promise, right? And if we're supposed to be made in the likeness of God, that means the things that we say we're gonna do are promises as well. So if we continue to not fulfill our promises, what are we? Just untrustworthy people. It sounds harsh, but at the same time, it's the truth. Like, who are we if we say we're gonna do something, we don't do it? We're liars, and we're not meant to do that, because you know who's the biggest liar? The devil. And if we wanna be children of him, it means we're not children of God. Dang. It's a fact though. So if we say that our yes should be a yes, that means every time you agree to something, every time that you say out loud that you're gonna do something, even the things that you say to yourself and you don't do them, knowing that they are good. And I feel like that's important as well. There's things that need to be aligned with God before we do them, and things that we say we're gonna do but we probably shouldn't. That's a discernment thing. But at the same time, it's like, if our yes is supposed to be a yes and we fall short of that constantly, we're proving to be nothing but liars. And if we try, or if we claim to be children of God, that means we're misrepresenting God himself. Now, no, we can never besmirch God's name, because God is God, almighty, he's all powerful, he's everything. But at the same time, let's think about the people around you. If people see you as their Christian friend, right, and you are the one that's constantly late when you say that you're not gonna be, or you're the one that is constantly making promises that you're not keeping, what does that say? One, what does that say about you? And two, what does that now say about God from their perspective, right? They see you as this Christian, but then they see that you're constantly always late, or you're constantly never keeping your word. They're gonna be like, so this is what a Christian is? This is what a godly person is? They're gonna have a misconception of who God is because of how you're representing him. And honestly, I did hear that a lot, because I'd be coming late to some functions, especially with my homie Lewis. He'll tell y'all, like, I always will come like 20-30 minutes late, and I think I'll be having good reason, but no, it's on me, because I don't allot the time to make sure I'm there on time. I want to do things last minute, when that is only a recipe for disaster. Because why am I rushing? Like, why do I want to wait till the last minute to do anything? Like, if God came today, would I be waiting to the last minute to try to get right with him? No. So at the same time, all that we do, we have to do it with intention. That's, I feel like, the main thing. And don't get me wrong, like, it's very easy to say yes to things that we should have thought twice about, or stuff like that. But it's like, do you want to be someone who keeps their word, or you want to be someone who doesn't? Do you want to be a liar, or you want to be a truther? Like, come on. It's easier said than done. That's why we have the grace of God to help us. I used to think like the grace of God only helped me in a certain aspect. It'll help me to get through certain temptation or whatever, right? But we can ask God for his help in everything that we do, no matter how small, no matter how big. It's truly about, do we seek him for help? He wants to. He's there at all times, waiting for us to ask him for help, waiting for us to seek him for the things that we are in need of, but not also in need of, also the things that we just want to be like him in. Jesus is like that. He's God, you feel me? But at the same time, he's our example. So if we can seek him in his word, see how he moved in every situation, to see that he always kept his promise. He never moved in a way that contradicted what he said. Everything he said, he did. No matter going to heal people, even if he was late, it was for good reason, because his ways are higher than our ways, you feel me? And every time he said something, it came to pass. So isn't that how we should be modeling our lives? That every time we say we're gonna do something, every time we say we're gonna pull up on that friend, every time we say that we're gonna do this or do that, wouldn't it make sense that we actually should? And this isn't even only dealing with God, but in general. Let's think about your job. You work and you are constantly missing the mark because of whatever reason, but you said you were going to. People will look at you as someone who never keeps their word. And if that reputation continues, you'll probably have a hard time getting a job, because no one can trust what you say. Dang. Like, even me, in my field of work, I guess, a lot of things I do, it comes to deadlines. If I'm not on time with a deadline, people or the brand I'm working with will come back and, I guess, to themselves think, nah, we're not working with this guy again. Even if the work I'm giving is quality, even if it's the best work ever, if I suck at keeping my word on my timestamps, then it's useless. You could be timing is everything. Keeping your word is everything. Like, I think it's just hard though. It's hard to keep our word, because sometimes we just spread ourselves thin. Personally, I know that I will say yes to everything and anything just to help people out, or just to meet people where they are. It's almost like, if the more busy I am, the more productive I'm being, or the more busy I am, the more I feel accomplished, when that's a lie. But I'll constantly say yes to everything that people are asking me for, when in reality, there's not even enough time in the day to do those things. And we know how things can go left when we didn't even realize it. So on that point, I think another part of doing what you're saying you're gonna do is having discernment to agree to certain things, or having the discernment to say, okay, maybe I shouldn't say I'm gonna do this because I don't think that's actually possible. One thing about discernment is that is God's. Wisdom is God's. Discernment is God's. Knowledge is God's. So we want to know, if we really want to be able to keep up with the words that we say, I think we really have to realign with God first. We have to convene with God first. first to ask, like, yo, Father, is this something that's actually worth doing right now? Is this something I can actually do? Because it's easy for me to say it right now, but I don't think this is genuinely possible. Or it may seem possible in the moment, but later on, you don't know what can happen. There's been so many times where I say yes when I really wish I could say no too. That's the funny part. Like, I'll regret it instantly, but then I'm locked in it, you feel me? Because I said I was going to do it. And the funny part is when we say yes to things, or when we say we're going to do things that we already know that we probably shouldn't, or that we already reluctant to do, we're opening ourselves up to the opportunity to feel guilt or to feel bad because you don't want to do something, but now you're locked in. And one thing about God is that he does not shame us. That's first. He does not cast guilt over us or none of that. That's what we may do. Like, I know for sure that I'll say yes to stuff, and the time comes to it and I'm just like, dog, I don't want to go. I don't even want to be here. I don't want to leave my house because I'm very cozy and this day was already long. And then I'm just like, but if I don't go, I'll look bad, and I know my yes has to be a yes. So then I'm sitting there condemning myself for even saying yes and even feeling like wanting to not go. And say I don't go, that's even worse, because I'll sit there like, dang, bruh, they're gonna think I'm X, Y, and Z, or falling victim to other people's opinions of me that I don't even know. But I feel like it begins where we stand with God. It begins where we stand with what our foundation is in. If you already believe or have the foundation that it doesn't matter if you say yes or no, you can just cancel whenever or whatever, that's just how you're gonna move about things. That can turn into how people view you, how people will trust you. You're the guy that he said he'll do it, but he's a 50-50. You never know. But I think that's all depends on like how you're raised and stuff, right? And what you actually take heart or take heed in when people are talking to you. I know I definitely falter in this. I'm not even gonna speak like I'm a perfect person. And I'm definitely speaking from experience because I know I do this too much, or I fall short too much. I say, like, at the end of the day, it kind of like just falls into what's your priority. If you prioritize honoring God in all that you do, right, and seeking to please him in all that you do, that means when you make commitments, you're going to keep them. Even if they're with yourself, if they're with God, if they're with people, you will keep them because you know that's how you honor people. But if you don't prioritize honoring people, or you don't prioritize pleasing God, and you prioritize yourself and your feelings, that could go two ways. Anyone can do stuff if they feel like it, or not do stuff if they feel like it. But how often do our feelings change? There's been a bunch of times where I've been like, I'm not gonna go. Then I see what happens, or I see how the night played out, and it's like, dad, maybe I should have went. My feelings change. Truly, if we're not seeking our feelings and we're seeking to honor our Father and him with everything that we do, whether it's our decisions or our bodies, it's really hard to not do what we say we're gonna do. And even then, he still has grace upon us. Say you didn't read your Bible today, he's not gonna throw down fire on you because you didn't keep your word. Like, God is very understanding. At the same time though, we don't want to take his understanding for lenience or for weakness, I guess. If you want to keep your word for him. And if he tells us not to lie, then I don't think we should be lying. Lies don't just... When you think about it this way, you realize lies are way bigger than you think. It doesn't matter if it's a small one or a big one, you feel me? Like, you tell someone you're gonna do something, you don't do it, you capping. You're making yourself look bad. You're making God look bad. So that's where I stand with that. And thank God for helping me out there, because I was struggling. I'm gonna get back to the hotel. Hopefully you guys like this video. And I can't wait to show you guys what I've been shooting out here in Japan. But yeah, I'll catch y'all. Ooh!